long before he became the twisted creature muttering in the shadows. He was just a curious hobbit-kind soul named Sméagol. A store, one of the 3 branches of hobbits, Sméagol lived near the Gladden Fields with his family. On his birthday, centuries before the events of the War of the Ring, he and his cousin Déagol went fishing. That simple day would become the first page in a tale of obsession, corruption, and sorrow. Déagol found the One Ring, drawn to it from the riverbed by fate or something darker. When Sméagol laid eyes upon it, he felt its pull immediately. The ring whispered to him, filled his heart with desire. He demanded it as a birthday gift. When Déagol refused, Sméagol murdered him, his first act under the influence of the ring. He hid the body, and from that day on, Sméagol was no more. Cast out by his family and tormented by guilt, he wandered into the mountains, clutching his precious and slowly falling into madness. He lived in darkness, in the roots of the Misty Mountains, far from the sun and the world of men and elves. Over time, the ring stretched his life unnaturally, turning his body into a hunched, pale form and his mind into a fractured echo. He forgot his name, and a new one emerged from his gurgling mutterings: Gollum. For nearly 500 years, Gollum lived in the shadows, hiding from the world, consumed by paranoia and addiction to the ring. It was both his treasure and his torment. Though he hated it for what it had done to him, he could never part with it. The ring had devoured all that was once Sméagol, leaving only a creature obsessed with keeping it safe. Alone, whispering to himself, he lived in the dark, but fate would not leave him there. One day, a creature stumbled into his cave, Bilbo Baggins, a simple hobbit from the Shire who'd gotten lost during an adventure with dwarves. Gollum challenged him to a game of riddles. If Bilbo lost, Gollum would eat him. If he won, he would be shown the way out. But during their game, Bilbo found the One Ring, dropped by accident, and used it to escape. When Gollum discovered his precious was gone, his fury shook the caves. His hatred for Bilbo and his hunger for the ring sent him crawling out into the world once again. He wandered far, following whispers and rumors, until he was eventually captured by the forces of Sauron. Tortured in the dungeons of Barad-dûr, Gollum revealed 2 words: Shire and Baggins. Later he was freed, or perhaps allowed to escape, only to be captured again, this time by Aragorn and Gandalf's allies. He was taken to Mirkwood and held under the watch of the elves. But Gollum's cunning and desperation never faded. He escaped once more, driven by the hope of reclaiming the ring. In the wilderness, he finally found what he had been searching for: Frodo Baggins, Bilbo's heir, and the new ring-bearer. But instead of stealing the ring, Gollum became a guide. Frodo showed him kindness, calling him by his old name, Sméagol. For a brief time, the torn halves of his soul struggled. Sméagol wanted to be free, to serve Frodo. Gollum, however, plotted treachery. As they journeyed closer to Mordor, the darkness grew heavier. Gollum's jealousy returned, and his plans to betray Frodo took shape. He led them to Shelob's lair, hoping the great spider would kill Frodo and leave the ring for him. But Frodo survived. Their bond, already fragile, shattered. In the end, Gollum's obsession brought him to the cracks of doom. There, in the fires of Mount Doom, the ring called to him one final time. In a desperate moment, he attacked Frodo and bit off his finger, reclaiming the ring at last. But as he danced with joy, he slipped. He fell into the lava, ring in hand. the ring was destroyed, and with it, Gollum. Sméagol died, clutching the thing he had lived for, and Gollum perished in the very fires that had forged his doom. In the end, he was both villain and victim, a broken soul consumed by a power no one should possess. His life was a warning, a sorrowful echo of the cost of obsession. And yet, without him, the ring would never have been destroyed. Gollum, the wretched guide, the reluctant servant, the unseen savior. His fate was tragedy, but also a strange kind of redemption.